Novatechfx, the scam continues. In the last few days, the CEO, Cynthia Petian, has given an audio update to her disciples, the members of Novatech, to try and once again stop them from withdrawing funds, even though Novatechfx have actually frozen accounts so that people cannot withdraw from their trading accounts until at least the 1st of April. So what I'm going to do on this video is run through this actual 8-minute audio with Cynthia, stop and pause at appropriate times, give my thoughts on what she's just said, and hope that this will help you just not get involved with Novatech. It's so clearly a Ponzi scheme. There's something like 8 official fraud warnings so far. All the indications are there, loads of red flags that this is simply a Ponzi scheme. I believe personally that Cynthia Petian may actually be a pathological liar. She may not even realise that she's lying. She may even believe her own lies. But let's go through this and see what we come up with.
How's it going? So first I want to say thank you for you guys being here. It means a great deal to me that this small group of leaders that have been here for so long and been with us.
Okay, so she's acknowledged this was a message to a small group of leaders. And again, if you're running a Ponzi scheme, you need the people at the top of the scheme, those who've made the most money from it, which is a minority, just a few people at the top, to keep that faith, to keep spreading that message to those later investors. If you're going to rob Peter to pay Paul, you need to keep that message going. So that's what Cynthia is doing here. She's warming them up first of all by saying thank you so much. She's given some nice warm words, but clearly this was a call to just a few key leaders. In other words, a few key net winners in this fraud.
For so long, you guys are still willing to hang out and help us come up with ideas and take a vested interest in the business and us personally as people. So for that, I want to say thank you. We love you, and thank you for everything that you do. So with that said, all right, one of the things I strongly dislike about this type of business that we're in.
One of the things I strongly dislike about this type of business that we're in, and this is where she's constantly alluding to the pyramid schemes, the Ponzi, the whole parameter there of, look, she knows it's a Ponzi scheme. She never says what specific. She doesn't say investing, which is what they're doing. They're encouraging people to put money into Novatech for return on investment, ROI. They even quote it, a weekly ROI. But she doesn't put it in those contexts. She at the back of her mind, she knows it's a Ponzi scheme. She knows it's a pyramid scheme. She's been involved with M&Ms for years, and she fully well knows the game. And they do call it a game, but it's fraud. It's not a game. It causes mayhem and destruction for so many people's, so many families' lives with the fraudulent schemes that they operate. And let's go back to it.
Is the fickleness of the market, the people sometimes who invest with us and things like that.
Okay, so she has admitted that people invest with them. And that's quite a big admission that is, because if they're investing, then you need to be regulated. She's basically admitting there that she is committing securities fraud because they're not regulated in anywhere around the world. So she's just admitted there by saying that people are investing with Novatech that she is committing securities fraud.
Things go up, they go down, they go up, they go down on a regular basis. We've always tried to maintain a very steady level of sustainability and profitability so that people can come to expect a certain level of performance from us. Right?
So they're trying to manipulate, trying to allow their members to expect a certain level of performance, was what she just said. But she's also admitted markets go up, markets go down. So she knows full well if she was trying to run a legitimate business in the real markets, there would be losing weeks, there'd be winning weeks. That's what markets do, but that's what we've never seen with Novatech. Novatech have always posted positive results, averaging 3% per week, which is phenomenally stupid, crazy figures that they're choosing, but that has suckered in a whole wealth of really gullible people who think that this is the goose that's laying the golden egg.
Right? Now, with that said, not everybody likes what we do, but we do it well, we've done it for a very long time.
Not everyone likes what we do. Why would anyone not like what they're doing if it was legitimate? What we don't like is them lying and operating a fraudulent investment scheme. That's what we don't like.
This is not the first time that we've run into difficulties, and
so they have run into difficulties. She admits that through this call, that they've had difficulties. They still have difficulties. If you're running a legitimate investment business that was making 3% per week, I don't see as many difficulties that you've run into there.
We always overcome it. It is not our intention ever to go away or stop performing or anything like that. Too many people rely on us.
Too many people rely on them. It's not their intention to go away. She's almost paving the way there to say, look, we couldn't help it. You know, the people withdrew too much. We had to close our trading. This could be the start of the rug pull. She could be laying the ground here to say, look, game over. Don't blame us. It's you guys. You wanted to withdraw your money.
And it's the reason why we do what we do. All right. So I wish I can give people the calmness that we feel internally ourselves, knowing that things are under control and improving every day. And I know people don't always see what goes on in the background. And, you know, as leaders, and we have to sometimes just, you know, be mindful and careful of things that we say and do. And, you know, just to make sure that we're conveying the correct message at all times.
So we've got to make sure we're conveying the correct message at all times. They want the peace. They don't want people withdrawing money. The only reason you wouldn't want people withdrawing money if you're a legitimate trading firm, trading business, investment business, the only reason you wouldn't want people withdrawing money is because it's not a legitimate trading business. It's because the same as Bernie Madoff, his business, his Ponzi scheme collapsed once people started withdrawing and they could no longer fund those earlier investors with the fake money coming from later investors. So that's what we're seeing here. Cynthia Petian is on and on about, look, stop the withdrawals. Please stop the withdrawals because we're operating a Ponzi scheme. That's the subtext of what she's really saying.
All right, but just to give you guys a quick update, because I know that's what everybody wants. We, like I said, made some changes with our system. Unfortunately, the system that we had was not able to keep up with the amount of payments and transactions that we do on a daily basis and to send them out, which is why we decided to make a transition to Quickie Pay. It is preferable that everybody uses Quickie Pay, both for, you know, payments, and the withdrawals are under our control, but
the withdrawals are under our control. Now she's made a bit of an admission there, because when the withdrawals are under the control of the people whose money it is, that is within the Novatech Ponzi scheme, that's where they've had a problem. People making withdrawals, it sounds like there was almost an automated level there. If somebody wanted to withdraw money, it could be withdrawn, and that's what's given them the problem. So they've moved over to Quickie Pay. She's saying so they can handle a number of transactions. I think in reality it's so they can stop the withdrawals, as they have done now for 60 days from the end of January through to the 1st of April. What's going to happen come the 1st of April, who knows, because there'll be so many people desperate to get their money out. I think that could well be the end. I don't know. I get the feeling as well Cynthia Petian will just keep on like a dog with a rag, will just not let go. I think this could rumble on for quite some time until the authorities catch up with her and actually arrest her for operating a Ponzi scheme.
it just helps us solidify that so that we can find any kinks also that are within the system so that we can make corrections as needed. Right now, we've kind of been tiptoeing between coin payments and Quickie Pay. And if people want to continue to use coin payments, that's fine. But to me, the level of service and the speed at which we can do things through Quickie Pay far outranks coin payments, and I would rather use that as a payment processing system. All right, but again, the decision as of right now is still on the user, which service they would prefer to use. We've also made the decision to start paying current and trickle backwards to anything that needs to be back pay. And why are we doing that? Most of the people who have back pay are the ones who are getting paid currently. right? Because we're paying all the bonuses out on a weekly basis. It doesn't make sense on an administrative level to keep trying to catch up with back payment when we have people who are making payments currently that need to be made. So it is our recommendation that we pay everything from the front and trickle backwards. All right, but at least people know they're still getting paid weekly, because we are still paying weekly.
So it sounds, that sounds very confusing, but it sounds like Cynthia is saying that those people who have recently put in requests will pay those first, keep up to date with the current withdrawal requests, and then gradually work backwards if they can catch up and pay those earlier requests. So anyone who put in a request for withdrawal back a month ago, they're going to be waiting even longer. So it's a bizarre way of doing it. So rather than doing them chronologically, it would appear that you want to put in a withdrawal request now if you can, because it seems they're going to be trying to honour those withdrawal requests before those that have been longer in the queue. That's the way I just read that. I mean, let me know in the comments if you think she said something different there.
It's just we have a backlog now from when we had some system downtime and everything else, transitions, a lot of other things going on in the market.
A lot of other things going on in the market. Yeah, they've lost some money, I suspect, in the crypto markets where they have been storing the stolen funds. And so, yeah, a lot of things going in the market. That's a euphemism, isn't it, to say that we've lost a lot of money, guys.
So I just need a little bit of patience and understanding with that.
Just need a little bit of patience and understanding. Oh, my word.
But it also encourages the new people coming in to know that we are paying. But
it also encourages people that are coming in. So they're still accepting money and they're still processing some withdrawals to the leadership predominantly, so they can encourage more money to come in, because they need a bigger inflow of money. Because as with all Ponzi schemes, if you don't have the inflow exceeding the outflow of money, then you've got a problem with your Ponzi scheme, which is what every Ponzi scheme suffers with anyway. Because if you don't have an exponential growth on income when people are withdrawing their funds, then that's when the Ponzi scheme inevitably collapses.
I don't think it's fair for the new people coming in to have to pay or wait to get paid, because the people who are already here also getting paid are getting a backlog. So to me, that makes the most amount of sense. We'll start from the front, keep it rolling back.
So what she seems to be saying there is that the people who are just joining now, will pay them some bonuses, so that gives fresh blood, so they can then, well, the people who come in just now, they suffer massive penalties if they try and withdraw too early anyway. So again, this is subtext. I think what Cynthia has decided, look, if we can get some load of new investors in who don't want to withdraw because some people are seeing that they're still getting paid, let's restore that confidence in the Ponzi scheme, then we will get more money flowing in. Those people won't be withdrawing for at least 90 to 120 days until they've got their seed capital back, as lots of the promoters like to give an example, say, look, just build up your money. Once you've got your money there, take out your risk capital, your seed capital, and then you're in it for free, which is a very compelling, convincing lie to have there from what is still fundamentally a fraudulent scheme. Until
we're completely caught up. This way, everybody is getting paid consistently, which is always our goal to do so. Now, in a word just quickly about the trading accounts, guys, we've always been extremely flexible. And it's one of the reasons why we've grown to the base that we have, is our flexibility. But no business allows people to just withdraw huge sums of money at free will.
No business allows users to withdraw huge sums of money at free will. I think I totally disagree with that. If it's their money, if it's the consumer's money, they should be allowed access to that. To have said that they are freezing trading accounts for 60 days is utterly scandalous. It's their investors' money, not Novatech's money. This is money that's being given to Novatech on the trust that this was being traded and earning 3% per week on average over the last 3.5 years, was what they've said. Now, they're not guaranteeing that, but it's just so muddled up. And again,
it's not our intention to not give people their capital.
It's not an intention to not give people their capital. Well, it is. You freeze an account. Clearly, that's the intention, to stop people getting their capital.
All right. However, people do need to understand the nature of the business and
need to understand the nature of the business. Yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme. Don't take your money out because a Ponzi scheme collapses.
Money is trading, and
the money is not trading. They've never given any substantive proof that the money is trading. What a liar.
Everybody wants to panic and withdraw and do everything else. That
it's not panic. When you're withdrawing your money, that's your money. That doesn't necessarily mean you're panicking just because you want to withdraw your own money.
It's going to cause a backlog in doing so, because we have to forcibly close trades in order to release, and that's what we've been trying not to do.
Having to forcibly close trades. They don't have any trades that are open, not of any substance, not any volume. And they've said previously, Roy Petian, Cynthia's brother, who was their chief of trading or whatever you want to call him, had said, yeah, no, we don't risk much money of the actual money they have on individual trades. So they don't have to be closing trades to be able to fund withdrawals. And even if they do, what's the problem? Because if they're making 3% on average positive ROI per week, I'll tell you what the reason is. If they have trades which are open long term, because their system is fundamentally what is called I'm trying to think of what the phrase is now, I can't remember, but basically martingale, that's it. You don't close a trade if it's losing, and therefore you can say to people, we've had no losing trades, because they would use the argument until a trade is closed it hasn't lost, which is a nonsense, because that's like saying if you owned a property and the property goes down by 50% as a market as a whole, and you say you haven't lost any money, that's ridiculous, because you've lost 50%. Just because you haven't sold your house yet doesn't mean, just means you haven't realized that loss. But that loss is very real. You have lost 50% of your money. So I think what's happening with Novatech is that they've got trades, if they do have some trades, that are showing massive losses. They've got a very simple basis, and it's a beginner's massive mistake with trading, thinking, well, if I don't sell my shares, if I don't close my position on the crypto, then I haven't lost any money. It's a complete fallacy. So that may be what she's alluding to there, that you know, we've lost a lot of money, but we've not lost anything in real because we've not closed those trades. I think that's what she's alluding to.
You guys have seen the market recently, whether somebody is trading or not trading or whatever, there's freezes going on all over the place. So we're not
squeezes going on all over the place, making excuses,
doing anything that's not normal. But I just want people to understand that we've seen cases quite often where people withdraw, they go to other businesses, they lose everything in such a short period of time. It's embarrassing, and it's heartbreaking to see people leave what we've built sometimes with all good intention and sincerity, to have to go to other businesses because they're either fearing or panicking or just want to try something else and see how it works, or throw their money at things because it's promising them more return, to only see that it gets eaten up literally right in front of them, probably faster than I've ever seen it done in this market.
So she's talking about money getting eaten up in this market again. She's referred to this before. In this market, she means the Ponzi games market, the area where people are falsely, fictitiously making up trading or whatever their excuse for the Ponzi scheme is. And now she's worried because people are going from her Ponzi scheme to other Ponzi schemes that are promising more than 3% per week, which I find incredible. There are businesses, but there are, I call them businesses, scams out there promising more than 3% per week. It just beggars belief that people believe this stuff that is not a Ponzi, but it clearly is.
So I just want people to be careful and mindful about that. You know, that if you want to go try something else, I always encourage people to do so if that's what they want to do. But try not to pull from one source to do it in another, because if it doesn't work out, you are coming back, which a lot of them do most of the time, with less than what you started with. And it's not what I want to see happen for people, and it's not the reason why we're here. And I want people to just be mindful and just be careful, because these stories, sometimes I hear them, it's really heart-wrenching to see what goes on out there.
So it is heart-wrenching to see what goes on out there, and she is running one of the biggest Ponzi schemes currently with Novatechfx. So that's two-faced lying to say that she's really concerned. She just wants to keep all that money herself. She wants to scam as many people as possible, and the idea that she's upset when people take their money out because, oh, poor them, they're going to lose money in a scam. Keep it in Novatechfx, you're going to lose your money in that scam.
And we're not even anywhere near what some of these other companies are doing, and it's still causing people some distress.
So she's alluding there, we're not anywhere near what some of these other companies are doing. What's she implying there? I think she's implying that they are shutting down, just running off well, not instantly, but running off as soon as they've got large sums of money, and just shutting down without any explanation. There's probably no transparency with them. Credit due, but it's a bizarre form of credit, this, that Cynthia and Eddie Petian are very public with their Ponzi scheme. They are very well known now. That doesn't mean it's not a Ponzi scheme, because Bernie Madoff was exactly the same, who ran the biggest Ponzi scheme America has seen to date. So just because there is a public face doesn't mean it's not a Ponzi scheme. It just means that the people who are running it just believe they can get away with it. But anyways, keep going.
I want people to have a little bit of comfort and peace, knowing that we are still working very hard, very diligently every day to make sure that we continue what we've built.
We want this Ponzi scheme to carry on, is what she's saying there.
It doesn't mean we're not going to run into problems.
It doesn't mean we're not going to run into problems. There's a bit of a caveat coming here.
Problems happen, but we're not the type of people to run away from anything. All right. And knowing that you have people here that care about what we do, how we do it, and who benefits from it is, to me, I don't know. That alone should give people a little peace of mind.
Like a literal peace of mind. I just had a bird tweeting in the background there. There's still, I'll say at this point, there's still indications that Cynthia and Eddie Petian are no longer in the United States. I do find it strange as well that this was an audio call. I think she's learnt the lesson from the last Zoom call where we could determine that the office was not a big office. They were not in their home office, you know, and it wasn't looking good. So now she's down to just voice alone, which again is even more worrying. If you're having a call from the CEO of a company that supposedly is looking after potentially billions of dollars of assets and trading, you'd expect a bit more transparency. And where are you, Cynthia? Are you still in the USA? Can we have a camera? Can we see what's going on? Don't think that's coming anytime soon.
All right, because I've seen us change too many lives, and what we do makes a difference, and it makes a difference to us. All right, and
I'm sure it does make a difference to you. On the one hand, she's trying to say, makes a difference to us because we're helping so many poor people. On the other hand, it makes a difference to us because we're stealing millions of dollars. This has transformed our lives. We've got all sorts of problems. We had credit card debts we weren't paying. We would be declared bankrupt in the past. We've got such a bad history of our own financial situation. This is making a difference to us as well. Finally, we've worked out how to run a Ponzi scheme that continues to make people money ad infinitum. Beggars belief.
And okay, before I get all emotional, stop it, CEO. I just want you guys to know how much we do care and love you guys. And no matter what, we will lay down for you guys and do whatever we have to make sure that this business continues and we continue to feed people, because nobody else can say that they've done that. Nobody else can say that they've done what we've done for the last few years. And God did not give us his plan and did not give us this mission to only have it sink.
I do hate that when they say God gave us this plan, God gave us this mission. So a lot of the people I know in Novatechfx are people of faith, and they are being taken advantage of by someone who says this is a mission from God. So God has told them to operate a Ponzi scheme. That, Ponzi schemes are illegal everywhere in the world. It's fraud, it's obtaining money by fraud and deception, lies. And to say that then equates to God told them to do it. What can you say against that?
It's not going to. All right. So let me know what you need for now. I just wanted to give you a quick update, and we'll talk in a bit.
Oh dear. Well, that, I think it's just absolutely shocking. Cynthia Petian, either a pathological liar or just lying through her teeth, and she absolutely knows it. But anyway, that's my review on the latest news that's come from Cynthia Petian, CEO and founder of Novatech. Hope you enjoyed it. Do check out my website, copydragons.com. Just check it out. That will help support my channel, help me produce more videos like this to expose fraudsters and scammers. And I wish you all the best and see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.